Hey guys, let me share a couple things with you that I learned here on the IF transformers, the second IF and that Zenith 5S29. As you can see my documentation here where I did my pre-checks, and again I had about 50 ohms of DC resistance on the primary as well as the secondary. So I thought everything was good, and I've been recapping the radio offline and spent some time trying to bring it up. I just tacked in the transformer and got all the caps and the resistors that were out of spec replaced, but ran into a problem here with the second IF. So I could actually see if this shows up on camera here. I could actually get signal here using my audio generator, looking at about a 600 hertz tone on the plate of pin 3, and everything was good. Pin 4 and 5, again, if I brought an IF signal in here, I was good. But when I went back to the plate here, which is pin 3 of the 6K7, no such luck. So I tried again moving the adjustments around on the second IF, and this coil would not resonate. Okay, we're back looking at the coil here, and you can see I've got a little diagram or cheat sheet here too, because I really didn't know what was the adjustments themselves. The hex nut on the outside right here is the secondary adjustment, and then the small screw inside the hex nut is the primary adjustment. But this piece of mica and the metal up underneath this washer was completely corroded. Now, some of that may have been for me actually doing some cleaning, but this thing would not resonate. But since that point in time, and we'll take a look here in just a minute, I'll show you guys a quick video. We'll take a look at the RF input with a signal. I think the IF is 252.5 kilocycles. So one of those oddball IF frequencies. But we'll try to resonate now. But I got all this taken apart, cleaned up with alcohol, scrubbed that plate down, got the mica cleaned up, and then I did the same here on the back side, other than it was not corroded up. So I was actually able to just spray some cleaner back in this area and just loosen the nut up, and then got some alcohol back in there and let that evaporate overnight. So I think we're good. I did go ahead and do my DC resistance measurements after putting new leads on. You can see I took advantage of this and went on and put new leads, and I have them color coded to match the RMA specs of the day, just to make that a lot cleaner. And then let me get my brightness back down here. Then I also took and just updated my documentation as well. So coming off that 6K7 pin 3, of course that'll be my plate input, and the B plus down here with the red, and the return here black, and the green here going toward the diodes here of the 6B6. So let me hook this thing back up again to the RF generator. We'll generate a signal here again on the blue lead, the red. Then we'll look at the output here on the oscilloscope and kind of rock the secondary and primaries around and see if we can get this thing to resonate again. Then I'll stick it back in the can. Alright folks, I've got the generator hooked up now, and I'm generating a carrier as close as I can there to that IF frequency. And you can see here on the scope we are resonating now, and that's a good thing. So you guys can follow along here and you'll see what I'm talking about. Again, I'm going to adjust the outside hex nut. And you can see I can resonate now. So that looks like the peak there. And let me see if I can find my small screwdriver here. And we'll do the same here for the primary side. Not as much change here on the sine wave itself, but so that's it. Let me get this thing back in the can, and I want to replicate that just to make sure that I'm still good once I'm in the can itself. Okay, you can see I've got it back in the can now. One thing that's interesting too right here is the can. It has two little ears there, and it was just a little dab of solder on both sides. So I'm going to go ahead and apply a little bit of solder back there after I again test, just to make sure that we're resonant. So I think we're in pretty good shape. Again, you can see here I've got my frequency counter set for about 250, 27, 250, 25. I'm using a CW carrier, and you can see on the scope itself I'm reading about 253. So this is close enough. And I'll just move this around again. I've got this back in the can here, you can see. And you can see it does appear to resonate now. And again, I'm using a metal adjustment device, so there's definitely some capacitance inductance from that creates some challenges as well. But anyway, there you have it, folks. I just wanted to show that for those out there that can't get a transformer, IF transformer, to come into alignment. You may want to just check the same, especially if you're dealing with the same vintage equipment here that I'm working with. Just all indications are, I think I'm going to have the same issue with the first IF. And that's kind of a bummer. I'll have to take it out as well. But in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and get this one back in, fire the radio back up, and I can at least use my RF signal generator here and come off of pin 3 of the plate, and just make sure that again I can resonate through the IF with this circuit back in the radio. So hopefully I'll be able to get this thing to resonate at 252.5 kilocycles. So again, folks, thanks for watching. I appreciate it.